Johnny, how are you doing today?
Mate, I am wonderful. I'm doing great. I'm glad to be with you today. It's a beautiful, beautiful sunny day here in America, and things are starting to look better for all of us that we may all get together and enjoy music together very soon. So yeah, things are getting better, and we're happy and well over here. How about you, bro?
Um, pretty much the same, somewhat the
Somewhat.
same.
Yeah. Yeah, every part of the world has a few challenges, that's for sure. But we'll be all together soon, man. I'm telling you.
Anyway, the first question I want to ask you is
Sure.
how did you get into music? I know you had two bands before Hardline, which was Brunette and Killer Hit. So, yeah, how did you get into music?
Yeah. So, bro, I started really, really, really young. I started playing and actually starting to write songs. I was 8 years old. And this is because my brother, who is 6 years older than me, you always want to do with what your older brother is doing. If you have an older sibling, that's you always seem to, try to play the same sport or follow in their activities. And so my brother was a musician and had like a little band and stuff. So as a very very young kid, I started teaching myself how to play. I had a few lessons on the guitar, but everything I do vocally also was all self-taught. And when I was 11, this is going to blow your mind. So when I was 11 years old, I started playing professionally. So the real definition of a professional is when you're paid to perform. So at 11 years old, through my ripe young age of, I'm not even going to tell you how old I am. I I've been a professional performer. And so when my brother's band used to play in our house in the basement, I used to watch, bro. I used to watch the drummer. I would sit on these stairs that went down into our basement like a dungeon. That's where they would have their rehearsals. And I would watch this drummer. And I learned every song. And when he would leave, I'd play his drums. And I taught myself how to play the drums. Well, one day, bro, this guy got sick and couldn't do a show. And I told my brother, I said, hey, I can do it. And he was like, what are you talking about? I said, I know every song and I can sing them. And he was like, what? So he called a rehearsal. And long story short, I became the drummer of that band and the lead singer. You couldn't even see me behind the drums. But that's sort of how my music career, started, playing high schools and playing small. Oh, here comes my coffee. My beautiful wife is bringing me my coffee. Oh, thank you. Thanks, honey. Thank you so much. You want to say hi, Lenny? And she goes, no, no, no. She's shy. But anyway, that's how my music career started. Like everyone does, man. I started in my basement and I worked hard and kept writing songs, and I wrote terrible songs, bro. I listened to some of the stuff that I wrote when I was young. It's horrible. But you have to start, and you learn. It's an art, it's like getting better at painting a picture or whatever, or designing or building a website or whatever you do, or playing a game. You get better the more you do it. So music has been my life straight through school. I mean, I was barely at school. Like mentally, it was barely there. Like I didn't want to be there. I was in my music. So it was 11 years old to where I am now, and that's how I started. Started out with just a small little like school band kind of thing with my brother.
And it became a little bigger when Neal Schon came in and decided to produce your work, and then it formed Hardline. So speak to me about that.
Oh man. So yeah, so I met Hardline. I met Hardline. I We started Hardline when we met Neal Schon from Journey, of course, and he actually was married to my sister. Now we would go back to
Gee.
my home on the East Coast of America, and we'd have the holidays together. And we never asked Neal to participate in any of our, projects. My brother and I were, we had Brunette going, and we had our solo thing that we were working on called Brothers. And well, one Christmas we were all together, and I was playing a song. It was actually a song called "Face the Night,"
Oh,
which
that
is
one.
is on uh,
Two.
Yeah, I won't let you face the night alone. Yeah, that song. And so he heard me playing. He goes, he ran into the kitchen. He said, "Let me see the guitar." And he started creating these. I mean, he's a brilliant guitar player, and he started really working with the chords, and his chord knowledge is incredible. And we said, it was at that point we said, "Neal, would you help us produce this record? Are you interested in actually producing the record?" We never thought about him as a member of Hardline. I said, "We have this new project going on." So to fast forward, and so that this interview isn't 16 hours long, because I know you need to get some rest too.
That's
Uh,
fine.
we went back to we flew back to Los Angeles, and started working together. And the music and the relationship and the family and the closeness was so strong that we decided to turn it into a band. And that's how Hardline started. Was Joe, my brother Joey, Neal, and myself. And then we recruited Dean, who was in Bad English with Dean Castronovo, who was in Bad English with Neal. And then we recruited Todd Jensen, who was out on tour with David Lee Roth from Van Halen at the time. And we all came
Gee.
together, we jammed together and said, "Come on, this is our band." And that's how it started from there. And that really did, there's no question about it, that really did launch my career. It was like the rocket fuel. I knew that we all had the ability and the talent, but that was the rocket fuel to set us off into space.
And that album did do really well. There was like a couple of hits in it from like Hot
Hmm.
Cherie, Everything, which was written by
Yeah.
Eddie Money, and there was even
Yep.
it also featured in Brandon Lee's film, which is Bruce Lee's son.
Yes. Yes, sir. Man, you did some good checking up on me. Yeah, that was the first. I want to think that, yes. So that was the first movie that my music was in. I should say our music, because several writers on some of that stuff, and that was his first movie. And Brandon Lee was a fan of Hardline. As a matter of fact, when the studio brought us in to watch the movie, the songs were already cut into the movie. They were ready. We're like, wait a minute, we didn't even approve it. We didn't. We want to watch the film. We want to make sure, and we need to, you know, honestly, we need to be paid for the music. And it was already in the film, and it was a great film. It's so sad that tragic accident, but we were grateful that we had an opportunity to. I never got to meet him though, unfortunately. I never got to meet Brandon, and now I have a son named Brandon, so it's even it's even better. So, but yeah, that was the first movie, and then we also had songs in. We had a very famous TV show, Baywatch. Do you guys know Baywatch over there?
Oh yeah, we hell yeah know Baywatch.
Okay, cool, right on. So Pam Anderson and her bikini and all that stuff. So I had music in
Yeah.
Baywatch, and I love all that kind of. There's something really special about putting music to a scene. To me, that's really, really cool. I got into it for a while. I would take a movie and I would take all the audio off of it, and I would rescore it. Like in this scene, if it was a love scene or it was a fight scene or whatever, and I would sit in my studio and I would just create music, and rescore the whole movie. I love that stuff. So I was very honored to be in the movie and in those TV shows. It was cool.
Afterwards, after the whole Hardline with Neal, you came back with a new formation of Hardline, which was Hardline II. Talk to me how that came about, because that is one of my favorite albums you've ever done.
Really, man? Yeah, it's a good one. That's actually one of my son's favorite albums too. Um, I took some time, after the record deal was over with Hardline on MCA Records. We were, I will only speak honestly with you, bro. We were depressed. We were sad. We were tired. We couldn't believe what was happening, that it was sort of, I'll call it over, because grunge music came in and everything kind of, MTV stopped playing videos. It became like a talk show. Just everything just got weird, right? And I took time off, and I started some businesses that my brother and I grew to be very successful businesses. And it was Serafino Perugino, Serafino Perugino. God, that has a ring to it. And it's almost as good as Giovanni, Giuseppe Battista, Battaglino, Periconi, Gioeli. So anyway, Serafino contacted me and said, look, I have this record company called Frontiers, and we must have another Hardline record. And I said, no, I'm not interested. I said, no, thank you. I need some time. You know, being in a band like that, that was a super group. And then when it's over, you're depressed, man. It's like you're depressed. You know, you need some time. You need some therapy. You need some time to figure out what just happened in your life. Because remember, as I said, I worked from 11 years old, and I got that record deal. I was in my young 20s, and I worked all those years with one thing in mind, that record deal and becoming successful. And then in an afternoon, bro, it's gone. It's gone. It's like a tragic accident. And you need time to recover from that. I'm no different than anybody else, man, when it comes to mental health. I was down. I was depressed. I didn't know what direction to go to in my life. I didn't know what I was going to do next. So I will tell you honestly that Serafino pulled me out of that because he insisted that the world needs to continue to hear my voice, which was really just so unbelievable for him. What a compliment to say that. And so I kept saying, no, I don't want to do it. Finally, and it was funny, bro, because I can tell you the story. He would say, I'll give you this much money. And I'd say, I don't need money. Not about money. And I said, I don't want to do it. I need time. I'll give you this much money, even bigger money. It's not about the money. I don't care about the money. I'll give you. Finally, I said, okay, I'll do it. So he probably could have gotten me a lot cheaper, but I was honestly saying no because I wasn't mentally ready to do it. So anyway, that's what happened. And Hardline II started, and then it just took me some time to find the right players. And what I mean by the right players is the musicians, not only as great musicians, but great family. I was looking for what we would say a culture that really worked. Guys and girl that I could wake up and be so excited to see every morning, and not, because a band is a hard thing to be in, man. We're together all the time. We're eating together. We're practically sleeping together because when we're in tour buses, we're always together. We can't get away from each other. And if you don't like those people, you got a problem. So not that I didn't like former members. I loved everybody in the groups, but I was looking for a special mix, and I have it.
After all these years, finally.
Finally, yes.
Yeah, because what I was going to say, because I want to go now into your new album, Heart, Mind, and Soul. Not sure if you're aware, excluding the live albums, this is the first Hardline album to have ever been released 2 years after the previous album, and it's also the first Hardline album released with an exact same lineup as a previous Hardline album. So, do you feel you finally found the family?
Yes, definitely. I think so, and I didn't realize that, so thank you for telling me that, but yes, I really do. I'm going to tell you a quick little story, and we can then talk about Heart, Mind, and Soul.
Yeah.
You know that you're in a great relationship, you're in a great band, or you're in a great relationship with your soulmate. When this Hardline band gets off stage, and we've worked very hard, and we're tired, and we've been traveling, and we're fatigued, and we're hungry, and we're all those things. And we say goodnight to each other. We get back to the hotel. We're all Italian. We hug each other and say goodnight. The second everyone gets into their rooms, because we're not young kids, but we all sleep in the same room. So we all get to our rooms. Immediately we start texting each other, like, "How you doing? Are you tired?" "Yeah, I'm tired." "Hey, what time are we going to meet for breakfast?" "I don't know, how about 9:00? "No, come on. How about 8:30? How about," and it was like, "Aren't we sick of each other yet? Go to bed." And we just keep texting each other. It's a family, man. It's a great family. We travel together. We laugh together. We cry together. That's the way it's supposed to be. And that's why I believe we make some fantastic music together. It just works. We all connect.
Brill, yeah, exactly. Because I know when I was at your live concert in 2019, I remember meeting, I didn't see Marco, but I met Mario, Alessandro, and Anna, and they were sound people. Like, really sound people. Now, no wonder why you like being with them.
Absolutely. The best. This morning, I woke up at 3:30 in the morning because I wanted to take care of some hardline business. And, of course, Ale's in Italy, and I knew he would be up. And we start talking. It's 3:30 in the morning, and we're going back and forth and talking about our video plans and things like that. It's a family, bro.
So the new video has finally came out. So talk to me a bit more about the album.
Yeah. So Heart, Mind, and Soul. It's interesting. This year and this album, I'm dedicating it. I'm going to tell you straight out. I'm dedicating it to mental health awareness because we've all been through a lot with this COVID situation. There's so many of us that are financially devastated. We're depressed. We're sad we can't go to live shows. There's just a lot of emotion going on, and so I couldn't help but take some of that in and translate it to music. And so Heart, Mind, and Soul, when I came up with the title, I was talking to the guys and gal about it. I said, you guys, heart, the H in heart is like a ladder that we climb. The M in mind is like our lives going up and down. We have good times, we have shitty times. We go up and down, right? That's the M. And then the soul, the S in soul, to me means that is the road that we will travel based on what our heart and mind make us do, right? So it could be windy, it can be straight, it can be whatever. That's the S. That's how we travel. So that's what was in my head. And I said, you know what? Mental health is so important for people to understand that it's normal in the essence of it's like a cold, and if you have a bad cold and you want to go to the doctor, you go to the doctor if you have a cold or you don't feel good. It's the same thing here. If you're depressed and you're down and you can't figure it out, that's like having a cold and you need to go to the doctor. And so I'm just trying to bring some awareness to how special and important people are and the value of people. So some of these songs on this new album, song called Surrender, which the video will be coming out soon, in a few weeks from this interview. And surrender, people think right away when they see the title that, oh, I'm giving up. No, the lyric is never surrender. And so there's a lot of messages on how we should, that I'm trying to connect with people. Another song called We Belong on this album. I wrote that with my son. My son learned how to play guitar and he came downstairs. We were watching TV. He goes, Dad, he said, check this out. My son Brandon. And I recorded him and I turned it into a song that's on the album called We Belong. And people think it's about a girl and a guy. It's not at all. We Belong is about the relationship we have with a song that has touched your life. Songs like My Crush 40 Days, Live and Learn, that kids grew up with. I'm All of Me, all this music. So We Belong is a song about taking music with you, and it's always with you no matter where you go. It can make you happy, it can make you cry, it can make you energetic. But that relationship between song and you is personal and very valuable. And so that's what that song's about. So there's a lot of messages in there that I'm trying to get through to people and just help everyone, because I'm the kind of guy, I love everyone, man. I don't care who you are, where you live, what you look like, what color you are. I love everyone. And I think we all should.
Brilliant words.
Thank you, bro.
No words.
Oh, thank you.
Honestly,
thank
Brill. That sums up the whole album really well there. What we're going to do is we're going to actually play the new single from the album Fuel to the Fire. So talk to me a little bit about that song, and then we're going to play it, and then we'll talk about Crush 40.
Cool, man. Oh, all right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh, I'm loving this, man. I'm loving this. So Fuel to the Fire. Fuel to the Fire was it's that kick you in the face track that has a very old school rock feel to it. We wanted it very dirty and gritty. And that song's meaning is everyone has that person in their life that knows how to get under your skin. They know how to push your buttons to make you feel a certain way. And when that happens, we have a saying that when someone goes low, you go high. You don't stoop down to their level. When someone's can I say asshole on your show?
You can say it. You can say it. Sure, okay. I don't mind.
Okay, when someone's a hole, and instead of you becoming a hole, it's better to rise above and be better than that person. So Fuel to the Fire, the lyrics are actually, I'll add my fuel to the fire. So if you're going to do that to me, I'm going to be better than you. So it's a really cool, straightforward rock song, and I'm really, really happy and glad you're going to play it.
All right, then. Well, we're going to play your song now, Fuel to the Fire. That is coming up next. Johnny, when's the album coming out?
So the album is coming out the end of July, so the end of this upcoming summer.
Unfortunately, I cannot really play Hardline's Fuel to the Fire in full, but what I can do instead is play over the track a bunch of casual questions that I asked to Johnny Gioeli. Which one's better, McDonald's or Burger King?
Oh, no. That's a tough question. So I don't eat, I'm very much into health, so I don't eat a lot of junk food. Well, I shouldn't call them junky. They'll be upset with me. But right now, Burger King has this spicy chicken sandwich. And I like the spicy chicken sandwich over anything that McDonald's has right now. So right now, I'm going to have to play the odds. I'm going to tell you that it's Burger King right now because of that chicken sandwich. Actually, I was so busy and I was driving and I was starving. And I said, I'm not doing any McDonald's because I just did a 5K run and I'm running like crazy because why not? It's COVID times. I'm going to go for a long run. And so I said, I'm going to see what Burger King has now. It's been years. And I saw this spicy chicken sandwich. I bought it. I really like it. I even asked my wife today, I said, are you passing by Burger King? Because I like a spicy chicken sandwich. So that's funny that you asked that. It's Burger King this week.
Describe the feeling of being attacked by a flying cockroach.
Explain the feeling being attacked by a flying cockroach? I'm not sure, bro. I'm not sure I want that feeling. How's that for an answer?
That's a perfect answer.
Yeah, I think I can. Only one could imagine, and I don't want that feeling. That's my answer. Please don't send a flying cockroach to me, please.
I won't.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I know what you're going to answer at this. Which is better, Mario or Sonic?
Oh, come on. Yes. Definitely Sonic. Are you kidding me? Yes. Sonic. For sure. For sure.
And do you brush your teeth before or after breakfast?
Both. I got to be honest with you. I jump out of bed and I'm brushing right away. It's just a thing. And then I eat and then I do it again because I get ready. So yeah, I don't know why. And before bed, and sometimes in the middle. It just all depends. Yeah.
We're going to now go on to Johnny's other band, Crush 40, which is where I got to know about Johnny's music. So Johnny, first question I'm going to start off with the Crush 40 is actually a question that an acquaintance of mine, Alex Parr, wants to ask you. And I think it's the right question to start off with. And that is, How did you, along with the rest of the team, which I assume is June, get to work for Sega?
Okay, that's a good question, Alex. This one's for you, Alex. Yes, so it's a great story because it's a simple story. June was a massive fan of Hardline. He found me through Hardline and always wanted to work with me. So when the opportunity presented itself to create songs for games, he contacted me. Now, he got my telephone number from another famous rock star guy, and that rock star guy called me and said, "Hey, can I give this guy your number?" And I said, "Of course, give him my number." And so we made contact, and I'm going to tell you something, bro. I didn't understand it. I said to him, "What do you mean music for a game?" Because now, listen, I'm an old guy, so I had like Frogger. I mean, I had, stuff, Pong, and, stuff
Pac-Man.
like that. Yes, Pac-Man, okay? And then when Ms. Pac-Man came out, I was like, that was just weird. But anyway, because we were just used to Pac-Man. But anyway, so June explained it to me, and then I got it. I said, wait a minute. So this is like the relationship to a game, song and game, like a movie soundtrack, music is to a movie. He goes, exactly right. And we want to have your voice, and we want to, work together and stuff like that. So we started, he actually contracted me. We met in Los Angeles. Was I living there? Yeah, I think I was living there at the time. We're going to 1998, bro. 1998. And so we met, and I pulled up in my sports car. Of course, I had to show off a little bit. I show up in I think I had a Corvette at the time, not a Porsche. But anyway, I showed up, and June was there, and I went in, and I sang my what off, and that started the relationship. And it wasn't until after, and that was when it was Sons of Angels. So that was before we turned it into Crush 40. We turned it into Crush 40 because I said to June, I'll never forget this, I said, bro, we need to be a band, because we should be a band that people understand our relationship between the band, the music, and the game. It makes sense, not just like two guys writing some songs. No, we're a unit, we're a band, and people can relate to us as a band, so they can they're interested in the game because they like our music, or they're interested in the game because they love the game. But either way, it works. And that, my friend, was the birth of Crush 40.
Yeah. So one thing I'd like to speak to you about the Crush 40 stuff is, what is actually the difference between, you explained earlier in the interview about scoring movies, like getting a movie and then just sort of doing your own score for it. So what is the difference between like making music for albums and making music for games?
Yeah, that's a very, very, very good question. So there's a lot of difference. So if I'm making music for an album, it can start with a speck of something, a drop of dust of a melody, a drop of dust of a guitar riff or a vocal melody I hear in my head, and then it's the ingredients go in, and you bake the cake from there. You make the end result. With music for games, it is much different. It's very similar to movies almost, but we start with drawings. So when we created, let's take one of our famous songs, of course, let's take Live and Learn. Live and Learn was sent to me as a drawing, and half of it was in Japanese and half of it was in English. And then there was a summary of what the scene looked like. So that's what I had to work with, bro. I had to imagine what these hand-drawn characters, I still have them too. They're priceless to me, because I have the original sketches of what that game was going to be. So it's amazing to me. But it started like that, bro. It was handwritten sketches of what the scene would look like, and then June would say, we need it to feel like this. It needs to feel like energy. It needs to feel serious, or it needs to feel sad. Whatever, bro. And then I would go into my recording studio and I'd work. I would just lay it down. June would have a guitar idea, and luckily, thank God, I would hear it, and we would just work. And again, that relationship, we connected on writing, and that's how it works. So it's much different than writing an album. I like it because you have somewhat of a hint. You have, you already have like the plot, like the idea of what the scene is like. So the feel of the song or what you're going to write about is kind of there. You know what I mean? You just have to expand on it.
I actually want to speak about specific games that you did music for Crush 40. One of them that not a lot of people speak to you about, surprisingly, is your EA NASCAR game that you did the music for.
Did I?
What?
That's a joke. That's a joke, Jackie. That's a joke. I don't. Am I on it? What did I write? You got to tell me. You see, I'm going to tell you that sometimes when I write the songs, I don't really know where they're going to end up on which version and which this. And people say, "Oh, I had that song on the EO273 system and the 619." I have no idea what the hell they're talking about. I just know that I created a song for a game, and that's it. And I've never played the games. Well, I've never played them ever. So what is this? What is this one you're talking about, Jackie?
All right, first of all, Johnny, you're ever over in Ireland and you come over to my house, you're playing them.
Okay, I'll do it.
We're playing Sonic Adventure 2, Hero Shadow 06, all the games you're in.
All right, I'm in. We'll never leave the room.
Now, this EA NASCAR game I'm referring to, so you know that album Thrill of the Feel?
Yes.
All the songs from that was for this EA NASCAR arcade game. Sega did the programming and all that, and then EA did the publishing rights, and then they published it on like a... Hold on. They used this sort of hardware, the Sega Dreamcast.
Okay.
They used this sort of, and they did like they used like a modded version of this, and yeah, that's where the NASCAR stuff, and also where Live and Learn and Open Your Heart, that was on this.
Okay, so it originated though in a real arcade racing game. That's where all that stuff went, to one of those where you sit down and you race the car.
Yeah, Thrill of the Feel, all that stuff except for Open Your Heart. Open Your Heart was in Sonic Adventure 1 at the Perfect Chaos fight, and
Open Your Heart. Sorry, I start singing. Sorry,
yeah.
Sorry.
And the EA NASCAR game, all that was the rest of the stuff like In the Lead, Watch Me Fly, and a few others were there as well, and a couple of instrumentals June wrote for that album.
Yeah, that's right.
So, do you have any stories working on that album?
Oh, well, I will tell you this. A lot of people don't believe me when I say this, but I'm telling you, I'm an honest man. I only speak the truth. A lot of those songs that I wrote for the games, I will tell you, for especially Live and Learn, I didn't know if it was good. And people are like, what? I really did. When I turned that in, I said to June, I'll never forget it. I said, June, are you sure it's good? And he goes, what? And I said, bro, is it good? Is it good? He goes, it's great. And I'm like, okay. So I sometimes when you're creating the song, you always doubt if you did well enough. So a lot of that music, I always go, okay, is it cool? Is it cool? Is it cool? And another cool story was, you remember the song, I Am, I'm All of Me, of course. I Am.
Oh, yeah,
right?
the Shadow theme.
Yes. So I never forget, my family went shopping, and they were in this big, like, kind of entertainment store, where you could buy, back in the day, you could buy CDs and stuff and games. And that song was playing on like this kiosk. And they just came into the home and said, oh, my son said, hi, Dad. I said, hi, baby, how you doing? He goes, good. Your song was playing at the store. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, your song I Am was playing at the store. And that's when it really hit me. I said, wait a minute. This is a special group of fans and people, and this is really a cool platform to write music for. So I love Crush 40 is my life and the memories I have making those songs, and the experiences going to Tokyo and doing shows and the events. I'm still doing them, as you know. I mean, I'm going, Lord willing, if COVID is all under control, I'm going to Russia to do some events. I mean, it's everywhere. It's epic, and I'm so grateful that I was part of that whole time period. I'm grateful.
Oh yeah, and just all those songs were brilliant, as you know. Like I was gonna ask you about the music you did for Sonic and the Black Knight, but because you didn't really know about the EA NASCAR game, I'm not sure if you know which songs are in that.
I don't know which song, but if you name the song, I'll know the song, but I won't know
Yes.
the tie into the game without cheating and looking. And I won't cheat.
Yes. Well, Sonic and the Black Knight, what I'll say is that is the Sonic game with the most Crush 40 songs. It has Night of the Wind,
Okay.
Live Life, With Me, Seven Rings in Hand, Fight the Night, and Through the Fire.
Fight the night. Okay. Live Life. Oh, I meant. Okay, wait. Live Life. I wrote in a hotel room. Literally, I was on tour. I was on tour somewhere, and June sent me the piece of music. He said, "Look, we need to make this song pretty fast. Can you see if you can come up with any ideas? Here's the scene. Here's what's going on, and blah blah blah." And Live Life was, written in a hotel room. I also wrote. I'm thinking, and gosh, I hope I'm correct with this. Forgive me if I'm off on this one, but you'll never know because it's my story. But I think I wrote "I Am" while I was traveling a camper. You know what this is? A recreational vehicle, like not a tour bus, but like a camper going across the United States on a vacation. Yeah. And June said, "Hey, we have a deadline. Can we work on the song?" So I told my family, go out and play. And I stayed in the camper writing the song. I'm pretty sure it was "I Am." I'm pretty sure. So I used to sing into this little recorder, and I would sing into a little recorder, and that's what I would send him. "I am, I'm all of me," and then I love it. Okay, let me get home. Let me get back into the studio, and then we'll record it. And that's how it worked, man. We had fun. We're still having fun. We're still having fun.
And what about the song "Free"? That's one of my favorites. How did that come about? Because I love that song.
Okay, wait a minute now. So now you're really testing my memory. So I'm going to tell you. Okay, now here's why you're testing my memory. I just completed my 93rd career album, 93 albums, and I'm getting ready to start 94 and 95. Yes. So when you pull out a particular song, so I have written already in my catalog, I have 710 songs that are part of a repertoire. So for royalties and things, because we have to track all these songs and anyway, so when you bring up a particular song, first I try to place the year, I try to place the song, I try to place the melody, and sometimes I go onto YouTube and I search myself. And when I search myself, I find songs that I don't remember them, bro. Like, wait a minute, did I really record that? And I always thought that was so funny. Like, well, how can a guy not remember a song that he sang? But when you have 93 albums out, so yeah, it can be difficult. So I don't remember how that one came together. I'm sorry. I simply don't. I simply don't remember. Maybe I need another coffee. I don't remember how that one came about. But I'm sure it was probably in the same way. It was June saying, "Hey Johnny, I want to work on this. Let's get together on this and get some ideas." Or, "Hey, can you sing on this? Let me hear what this sounds like." Like that, bro.
Yeah, I see. But yeah, I can see how you with like hundreds and hundreds of songs that you would forget some of them, because I know this guy from Slovenia, he had this hit song in the Eurovision. It did really well in his country, and he did several like translated versions and that he wrote. And he came to my house to sing them, and he had to go into Google and get the lyrics.
Okay, so let me talk to you about lyrics. So now, when I was younger, I still say I'm young, but when I was younger and I was watching TV and watching artists perform, I would laugh and say, what is that guy doing? He's got a teleprompter. He can't remember his lyrics. Let me tell you something, bro. After 93 albums, and then you have Life, not the Hardline album Life, but Life in general in your brain, and you have everyday things going on, and then you have 93 albums in your brain. You need a teleprompter. You need to just be reminded, okay, yeah, that's that song. Okay, yeah, right. Now I get it. I never forget the melody, but on occasion, I need to check a lyric. There's no question.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There, you're not alone in that. So I told you a story there. For Free, Free was a song that was in Sonic Free Riders, and you wrote the lyrics and you sang on it.
How's it go? Come on, sing it for me, bro.
I'm falling free in the wind, that one.
Yeah, I got it. Yep, that's it. So, but I still don't remember how it came about, but I know the song, of course.
Yeah.
That was good singing, bro. Yeah.
Thank you. That wasn't even the best I can do. But actually, speaking about Free, going back to that, I'm not sure if you're aware. If you're not aware of writing it, I'm pretty sure you're not aware that a demo of that was leaked on one of the Sega websites.
No, I'm not aware of that. That's cool.
There's a It's very electronic sounding, and you scat in the middle of it, and then there's different lyrics in the first verse, and it has a different guitar tone and everything. And the mix is like
that had to have been what we would call the sketch. You know, that was like the artist starting to draw the picture, and I was like just trying to get my head around the way the melody should sound. So wow, that is funny. That's awesome.
I'll have to send it to you.
Yeah, occasionally that happens. Yeah, you should. I want to hear it. Yeah.
All right, I will.
I probably still have it on my system. I have kept every single song that I've ever performed on my recording systems. I have every single song. So if I had a sketch of that, I probably have it on my system, but I just don't remember it.
I'm not sure if you're aware of this. I know June is, because the guy that made it showed it to him. But are you aware of the sort of parody remake of Live and Learn done by this group called Siivagunner called Live and OOOOOO?
No, I have not heard about that. No. Is this a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a so there's this YouTube channel called Siivagunner. They do all these sort of they get like video game music, and they kind of like, you know, the way you hear of like these rickrolls where they disguise it as something else and it turns out to be something a little different. So what they do is they disguise it as if it's the original song, but they change something key about it. And for their version of Live and Learn, they isolated your vocal and then put it back into the track. And for the bit where you do ooh in the song, they keep that playing for the whole song and make it rise higher and higher and higher and higher.
That's cool.
That's what they do.
Oh, you're gonna have to send me that too, bro.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a crazy one, and I know the fans would love if you were to do that.
Man, well, you have to send that to me. Send me a link or something. I want to check that out.
Yeah. That actually makes me ask, will you be in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, the sequel? The sequel's coming out, and there's been some leaks. Not sure if you're aware. The current leaks for the Sonic movie reveals that a particular story element in Sonic Adventure 2, which is where Live and Learn is going to be in the Sonic movie too. So do you have any idea if you're going to be in that?
Wow, you just made me very excited to hear that, bro. I don't know about that leak. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if we are part of it, but I will tell you this. If we're not, I would be deeply hurt because I feel that we were not everything, but we were a decent part of the life of that brand, the life of Sonic. I think June and I had a lot to do with that, the whole, time period. So I think we deserve to be in it. I haven't gotten the call yet, but I know that the fans, and I love my Crush 40 fans, man. I love my Crush 40 fans. I know that they did do some pretty heavy pushing and tweeting and Instagramming and whatever the heck you young kids do, and to get the attention of these producers. And so I know we're on their radar. So I know they know that we're a part of it. But honestly, I haven't gotten a call yet. Maybe I will soon.
Well, hopefully you will, because I know in the first Sonic movie, there's a scene where Dr. Eggman's dancing to music, and one of the playlists is Crush 40. That's one thing I do know, so maybe they'll do it for Sonic 2.
Yes, I saw that. Yes.
And as well as that,
yep.
I think you do have enough of an impact in the Sonic games, because I'm not sure if you're aware, but your music has been in one of the biggest fighting games of all time, Super Smash Brothers.
Yes, that I am aware of. Yep.
Yeah. So
that I am aware of. Yes.
If that doesn't say much, I don't know what does.
Yeah, bro, I'm with you. I agree with you 100%. Let's get in that movie. Everybody who's listening right now, I don't know, get on your computers and hunt the movie people down and tell them that we deserve to be in there, and then we'll get there. And then I'll buy everyone a plane ticket to the opening show. Wait, did I just say that? Okay, I take that back. I can't buy everyone a plane ticket, but let's see what we can do together. We're a powerful community. We are a powerful community. We can do it.
Next question I've got for you is about Axel Rudi Pell. So how did you get the lead singing role in his band?
Yes, so very similar story to meeting Jun Snowy. Same situation. Axel was also a very big fan of Hardline. Hardline had a big impact on a lot of people, around the world, and musicians. We would call Hardline a musicians band because they're all very, talented guys. Not tooting my horn, but I'm just saying, it was a very strong and powerful band. And so Axel contacted me too because he loved the sound of my voice, and he thought that the growl in my voice that just happens naturally. I don't try it. It's just, that's my voice. Whoa! When I go up, that's what it does. And he just thought it was a perfect fit for his more metal project. So it's really cool, man, because even though these are different sounds, like that's more of a metal kind of group, and Crush 40 is more, gaming kind of pop rock, and Hardline is a little bit more commercial rock. I mean, I don't sometimes know how to classify these projects, but somehow they all work together. So he met me because of Hardline.
And you also have like a new album coming out with Axel Rudi Pell. Not only do you have the Hardline, you also have an Axel one. Do you know any info about that, when it's coming out, whatnot?
So all I've been told so far is summertime. So I can tell you that the Hardline record is coming out in July. I think around July. I want to say around the 26th. I hope I'm right on that, but July. And Axel is somewhere around there also, and I have a few more other albums that I'm working on that might also be part of that summer release. So we're putting out a lot of music. You know why? Because we can, number one, and all our tours are canceled because of COVID. And so I wanted to spend the time being creative and put out as much music for the people to help people, to make them feel great, to make sure everyone knows that no, we're still here. We're still making music that I hope you love and enjoy. So yeah, Axel has that album coming out. You're talking probably speaking of the Diamonds Unlocked. It's the cover album. I think you're speaking of that's
Yeah,
coming out
that's
this
what I'm
summer.
speaking of.
Yeah. So yeah, I just finished recording that. We moved fast on that one. I just finished recording that about I want to say 2 to 3 weeks ago tops, and it's already turned into the album. It's kind of cool. So yeah, that's going to be a great one. Those cover albums are always fun to make because we take, I would say, some of the weirdest songs in my opinion, and we turn them into a rock song that you would never imagine. Well, let's take Axel Rudi Pell's rendition of Hallelujah. Hallelujah, Hallelujah. I mean, who
Yeah,
would ever
that
think
one.
to turn that into kind of like a rock metal song? And we did it. And now when we play that live, I can sing one word and the entire audience sings the rest of that song. It's just a cool thing. So I'm excited for that cover album to come out because people can relate to the songs. They know them very well. So it's cool.
That's good. That's good. What do you think was like the weirdest sort of cover song that you did with Axel?
There's been a few. There's been a few on this. Well, this album's a surprise, so I can't really mention any of the songs. But when this one comes out, there is a song on there that begins with the letter S. That's all I'm going to say. And I would have never imagined. I would have never imagined in a million years singing this song. And I guess I can tell you this: there's a song from, I don't even know if you would know who this person is, bro, because you're so young. But there's a song from Tom Jones.
Oh
And
yeah, we know who Tom Jones is. He is big
okay,
over here.
okay, cool. Okay, so Tom. So there's a Tom Jones remake on this album. So it's
That's
gonna be
really
pretty
cool.
interesting. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. I'll be looking forward to that, and I'll be looking forward to the one with the S in the title.
Yes, the one with the S in the title. You will know it when you hear it. You'll be like, oh, that's the one Johnny was talking about. It's a girl's name. That's all I'm gonna say.
If it's Santa Claus is coming to town, I'm going to laugh.
No, definitely not. It has nothing to do with Santa Claus, but you're pretty close. I'm gonna stop there.
Okay, that's. I'll look forward to that even more.
Yeah.
I want to speak to you about your live gigs that you've done before. You've done a couple of supporting gigs as well. Did you do one with Van Halen? Yeah.
Yes. So that was so my very very first show with Hardline, with the original lineup was in Detroit here in America at the Palace of Auburn Hills. This is a big like 55,000 seater. That was my very first show kicking off Double Eclipse album. Yeah, with Van Halen. Yes. Insanity, bro. That's all I can tell you. You imagine like a young, I guess I was 22, 23, somewhere in there. And my first show is with Van Halen, one of my idols, idol bands. And I'm just Hardline and Van Halen. That's it. It was unbelievable. And you know what an idiot I am, bro? Let me tell you what an idiot I am. Back in '92, we didn't have these cell phones. Everything was just starting to come alive. I didn't even take pictures. Why didn't I take pictures? I mean, I had some, the journalists, of course, and the photographers took pictures, but I never took pictures backstage and, I've been with people like, guys from like Brian May from Queen and Roger Daltrey from The Who, and I never took any damn pictures. What's wrong with me? Anyway, I can't understand myself sometimes.
Actually, did you actually get to meet Eddie Van Halen at the show? And if so, what was he like? Because I had a previous guest that spoke about him quite highly.
Oh yeah, we of course. So, yeah, we hung out with all the guys. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you a little secret. There's a little secret for you and the listeners that underneath the stage, the Van Halen stage, was a massive, like, well, I shouldn't say massive, I should say mini nightclub. So during solo, like if Eddie was doing a solo, we were all underneath the stage having a party. All of us. It was so awesome. Underneath the stage, people don't know that this is happening. We had a bar set up where we could mix drinks and things like that. I remember we were in our 20s, and Van Halen was a little bit older, of course. But yeah, it was fun stuff. I would go to sleep in the hotel, and I would hear noise and yelling and screaming. And that was the Van Halen brothers running through the hallways of the hotel like little kids. These guys never grew up. They had so much fun. And yeah, we met them all. And Alex Van Halen was really getting into health. And we'd bring a juicer on the road, and we would have 100 pounds of carrots. And we would juice all these carrots, and we'd share it with the road crew. And we were all like friends, It was cool. It was only a few shows, but we made the most of these shows. So, and that was my kickoff of my live career, was with Van Halen. Insane.
Wow. And you mentioned about meeting Brian May. What was he like as well?
So actually, my wife spent more time with Brian May backstage in our catering area when we played Wembley. We were on tour. This was like 1993, and it's some funny stories. He was the nicest gentleman, and still is probably one of the nicest humans you'd ever want to meet. And he's so easy to talk to and just hang out. And I remember scratching my head because we were all around this, dinner table, because we had our catering and our meal before our show and things like that. And I'm scratching my head and saying, wow, my wife's having a, wait, was she my wife at that time? I think she might have been was she my wife? No, I don't know. She was not my wife at that time. She was my girlfriend at that time. Is talking just about, I don't know, gardening or something with Brian May. That he's in Queen. What the hell? And yeah, and then here's another funny story. You'll like this one. So that very same show, or it might have been the show, we played Wembley, sold out like 2 nights in a row. We were on tour with Extreme, and Extreme was very big. And my wife hit me. My girlfriend at the time, she hit me and said, "Look at that guy. He thinks he's Roger Daltrey." And I said, "Honey, that is Roger Daltrey." And it was just, and we still talk about this story. And yeah, man, I've met the biggest of the big, and hanging out with Guns N' Roses, and it's music is a community, it's a family. And I remember Metallica, the guitar player Metallica, not what's his name, not Hatfield, but the other guy, God forgive me, I can't think of his name, running up to us at the airport in Los Angeles. I was with Neal, coming to go, Neal, hey man, check this out. I'm recording at this studio. I got this killer guitar sound now. I'm using this certain amp. This is Metallica, bro. This is Metallica. So we're all, you strip away all the fame, strip away all the fortune, all that stuff. We're musicians that want to do a great job making music and making people happy. That's the bottom line. Doesn't matter how famous you are.
I want to go now onto a question that one of my friends asked. He really likes the song "Set the World on Fire" that you did with Dean Castronovo. So do you want to speak a little bit about working on that album with him?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that again, that album is hanging in my wall downstairs. One of my favorite albums. Dean we practically grew up together from Hardline to now, and still in communication, of course. And so that album was, of course, sort of directed and produced by Alessandro from Hardline, who takes part in a lot of the Frontiers projects, of course. And that album was about us reconnecting. So Dean went through a tough time, as we all do at periods of our life, and he hit a bit of a low spot. So he hit the bottom of the M in mind, in heart, mind, and soul for Hardline. He hit the bottom of the M. And I was doing an interview, bro, and the journalist asked a question. I didn't like the way he asked it. He sort of made Dean look like a bad guy, and I got really angry about it, and I almost stopped the interview. I said, no, you're talking about a guy, who I love and adore, and one of the most talented guys out there. No, you take that all back. We all have we're all human. We all have our low spots, and we have times when we make mistakes, and Dean did that. He made some mistakes, but that doesn't change the person he is inside him, right? After I did that interview, I think Dean or his son heard it, and we all just reconnected. So when Frontiers suggested that we do like sort of a reuniting album, it was what we call Gionovo. We call it, Gioeli Castronovo. We call it Gionovo. And so that's when the birth of that album happened after that interview.
Another question I want to ask you as well is about your solo album, One Voice. Firstly, speak to me a little bit about the album, because I think it was a great reasoning as to why you did it, and also speak to me about how Joe is doing.
Yeah, sure. So One Voice was obviously my first solo album. I'm such a team player that it was a little weird for me to do a solo album, but I didn't do it for me. I did it for Joe Barber, and that was a charity to raise money and awareness for those who are rendered with paralysis. And so the community, my music family, you guys, Crush 40 fans, journalists, people around the world donated to help him pay for what is very, very, very expensive treatments. And Joe has graduated college. He literally went to school. He served some internships in New York City for some of the most famous people on TV. He's thriving, and he has come to grips with the fact that he is paralyzed right now, and they research and constantly have hope that there will be some research that proves helpful to his condition and other people's condition, in that same condition. So he's doing great. His family's doing great, and that was probably a very big. It was a big highlight of my career to be able to, to give back and create that album. I love that album. I think it's a fantastic album. It's a little bit different it's sort of in between everything that I've done, stylistically. So I like it. So it's not like Crush 40, but it's not like Hardline. It's not like, you know what I mean? It was just good message, good feeling song. So I love doing it, but it was the charity that I was ultimately interested in, and that's why I did that album. I never think of myself as a Johnny Gioeli, the solo artist guy. I'm not like that. I'm a band guy. So I would have never done a solo record with just because I needed a solo record. I don't need to be solo. I need to be with people.
That's a great answer. Just say, God, you're making my job very easy today.
Oh, good. Well, yeah. I mean, it's the truth. That's my life. So it's easy to talk about my life for sure.
So, Johnny, great having you on. Is there any last things you want to say? And what final song do you want us to finish off with?
Okay, so what I'd like to say, I say in just about every single interview that I've ever given from day one, and that is thank you to everyone. I am extremely grateful always for the support that everyone gives me. I say this to nauseam, that without you guys, I'm just a voice. I'm nothing without you. So, and I realize that, I recognize that, and I appreciate everyone so much. And I hope I can fill your life with music that makes you feel great, and messages that make you feel great. Everyone be well and safe. And let's finish off with yet another famous, wonderful, killer Crush 40 song, I'm All of Me.
Oh yes, let's go. I Am All of Me is coming up right now. But Johnny, thank you very much for coming on the show. And yeah, talk to you soon.
Yes, brother, thanks for having me. Best of luck with everything, bro. Be safe. Luck of the Irish!